France, Australia, New Zealand, and Norway recognize each other's claims. But the UK, Chile, and Argentina do not recognize each other's claims because their territories overlap. Today, the countries that claim land in Antarctica merely have a symbolic claim. This treaty had temporarily suspended the claims. But it also means that on the expiry of the treaty, these territorial claims would become important. This is why these 7 countries have held onto their claims over Antarctica. This treaty is set to expire in 2048. Post that, whether this treaty would be renewed or not, will have to be seen. Let's talk about why countries may not want to renew it later in the video. But thankfully, with the help of the treaty, in the present, there has been little to no geopolitics in Antarctica and more scientific research. This has benefited scientists hugely. The International Council of Scientific Unions established a special committee to conduct research on the Antarctic, under which scientists from different countries are coordinating together. This is why every year, about 4,500 scientists go to Antarctica to work. And a strong collaboration between scientists from different countries has been seen. Friends, it is interesting to know about India's role in this story. Even though the countries agree that the land will be used for peaceful uses only. But it was possible that these countries may choose to carry out mining. If oil is found there, these countries would mine for oil and make profits out of it. During the Cold War between the US and the Soviet Union, most of the countries had taken sides. But India was non-aligned. We didn't support either of the two countries. In 1983, the non-aligned countries pressurized the United Nations so much that finally, the General Assembly of the United Nations had to concede and agreed to take up the topic of Antarctica in the next meeting. About 1 month before the meeting, India signed the Antarctic Treaty and applied for the consultative party status. This was quite shocking for the rest of the countries, because till that point in time, India was against the Antarctic Treaty. And then it abruptly changed its stance and signed the Antarctic Treaty. Today, there are 2 active stations of India in Antarctica, in which constant studies and research on geology are being conducted. The second expedition of India to Antarctica included scientist Sudipta Sengupta. In her research, she studied that the Schermacher Hills on the coast of Antarctica was actually a part of the fault line joined to the Indian subcontinent. It had broken apart from India from that point, after which India moved north and collided with Tibet and the Himalayas were formed. And India became a part of the continent of Asia. Later, in 1991, an environmental protection treaty was signed in Antarctica, also known as the Madrid Protocol, because it was signed in Madrid, the capital of Spain. In this treaty, finally, restrictions were put on drilling and mining activities in Antarctica. No country can do drilling and mining in Antarctica, so that Antarctica is protected. It was very important to do so, because many countries are scavengers when it comes to oil. Under the guise of exploration of oil, a large number of places have been destroyed. In a study from 1992, the U.S. Geological Survey experts found 19 billion barrels of oil under Antarctica can be recovered. Mineral explorers in Russia claim that there are 500 billion barrels of oil and gas under Antarctica. But there are 2 reasons why till now oil mining hasn't been conducted in Antarctica. The Madrid Protocol is the first reason, the treaty that keeps us protected from such instances. And the other reason is that it will be quite expensive to do so. At least for now. But in the future, due to climate change, the threat may increase further. As this ice is melting due to climate change, it is becoming easier to access Antarctica. New technologies will be developed with time. And perhaps then it wouldn't be an expensive affair. And it becomes economically viable to extract oil and gas from there. As I told you, this treaty will expire in 2048. If these countries do not renew this treaty, this can be possible after that. Several countries have taken to fishing in the oceans near Antarctica and exploiting it. Like China. China has recently expanded fishing and tourism there. Actually, after the year 2000, China is the only country which has set up research stations in Antarctica. No other country has set up new stations. Several countries talk about the ocean around Antarctica. should come under a new treaty to regulate things, so that there is no overfishing there, and to ensure that no one enters the oceans illegally, and it becomes a protected area as well. After 2003, there is a permanent physical presence of the Antarctic Treaty as well. The headquarters is in Buenos Aires, Argentina. If you look at this in the sense of geopolitics, today, Antarctica is not a country. It is a political territory, where several countries have come together to collaborate, and divided power among them equally. But Antarctica doesn't have any police force, no army, and no legal system. The loopholes of this treaty can be seen being exploited even now. For tourism, tourists can go to the British station in Antarctica, named the Port La Croix, and can get their passports stamped there. Even in the territories of Chile and Argentina, tourists can get their passports stamped. It is another way through which these countries express their claims. What do you think, friends? What should be Antarctica's future? Should things continue as they are? Countries collaborating together, not allowed to do mining and drilling, and people can be allowed to go there for scientific research or tourism. Or should we explore Antarctica even more? Comment below to let me know. I hope you enjoyed the video as always. You will be interested in this playlist containing my videos on geopolitics. Let's meet in the next video. Thank you very much.